And to the police and law enforcement out there that say that I am a vigilante, I am not a vigilante. For those that think that I am a villain because I'm calling out certain people, think what you want.
How's it going today, guys? Cyrax has finally returned. He's made his triumphant comeback. Triumphant for who? Only himself and Jackie. That's about it. We thought the goblin was put to rest. We no longer needed to hear from him. The story was done and over with. But just like a classic fairy tale, you just start from page 1 and start all over again. But interestingly, someone took a crayon and started coloring in this book, and we got a few differences now. In fact, Cyrax has came back onto the scene trying to protect people. You know, the man who forever 8 whole years. An internet nuisance. Some called him the Flash, but he wasn't trying to imitate Barry Allen, and the speed wasn't quite there either. A man who put fear into every single Akron bus stop. He's began praying and talking to his girlfriend Jackie, who surprisingly is a real person. It was speculated mainly because William Gloryhole said it was. A couple of dudes talking to Cyrax. Now, it very well still could be, and they sent a decoy out basically to go hang out with Chance, and just like the Grinch, his heart grew 3 times bigger, or however bigger it got. But it actually didn't. Cyrax is obviously just LARPing, pretending to be a superhero because this is his new fantasy. He's gonna come back and, like the Batman against trolls, destroy all of them. But really, he's the same Predator under the mask that he was beforehand. Just this time, he was on a TikTok that not many people knew about. Apparently, it had like 100-some followers or less before people found out that it was Cyrax, and it's amazing it took it this long to get found because it's literally just Rax. No difference. He's wore the same mask on stream before, has the same mannerisms, complains about the same things, but the only difference is he just claims that he's away from it now. A fairly interesting return for Rax, and we even got some more leaked calls from him that we're going to start with, talking about Cyrax's future and where he's going to go and what he's going to do. And it's basically just what he did the last couple of years, but this time, it's totally going to work out.
I've now been troll-free for the better half of going on about 3 months now. Like, they still try to pull their stupid shit, but I've been ignoring it. I've been just basically living a normal life for the first time in 8 years, and honestly, dude, it feels good to be back to normal.
Oh, that's great, man. It kind of sucks you had to retire. Like, we all really missed your content, me and my buddies.
I hated it too, but like, the main reason why I did it was because I knew that YouTube wasn't really going to do anything about it.
Are you ever going to get back on the internet again? I mean,
I've been slowly getting there. I've been slowly working my way back up to, posting on social media again. I've just been really just taking time for myself, living a normal life, hanging out, doing shit that I used to do before all this shit started 8 years ago, just kind of hitting the reset button.
Oh, yeah, what have you been doing?
Just living life, dude, just being normal, just hanging out, just doing normal people shit.
What happened to your fiance? Are you in a relationship now?
Yeah, dude, me and her have been together since last October.
Oh, that's sweet, dude. So are you planning to make any like rap music or anything, new songs?
I've been thinking about it. Like, I'm not too sure yet, just because of the fact that I'm trying to wait things out and wait these trolls out. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm basically starving the trolls out of content is what I'm doing. I'm basically starving them out, because they're still trying to do whatever they can to get me to respond, and I'm just not doing it. I'm not, giving them what they want. I'm just basically starving them. So right now, their tanks are running on empty. Right, dude, I've been itching to record again, but like I said, I'm trying to, wait these idiots out that way. I can start releasing stuff again, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, so when are you planning to, post online again?
Honestly, honestly, dude, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I'm just kind of, dude, I'm just kind of, slowly, getting back into things, like, really slowly just easing my way back in.
Okay, all right.
Like,
Cool.
I'm not, like, rushing in. I'm not, rushing into it that way. The trolls don't find me, shit doesn't start up again, and I can just kind of, relax and, take it easy, like that way, when I do get ready to post again, they're not jumping all over my shit, they're not finding me, and I can start over fresh with, a brand new crowd of people, build up a good community the right way, and, really get to show people, who I am and who I was before all this crazy shit started popping off,
Cyrax is always doing the things that he used to. While he was getting trolled, he was playing video games, screwing around on keyboards. He might make some music here and there. Probably not, but he might. That's the same damn thing he was doing. Now he's like, man, I've been dabbling in it, believe it or not. Believe it or not, this is what I've been up to. It's like, no, we know this is what you've been at, Cyrax. A 35-year-old man who has had peace in, like, forever. And instead of bettering your life, you're just like, let me just sit down and do the same damn thing. There's been no changes in his life. The only stresses have been relieved from him. I guarantee you, Sally and Ed still deal with all kinds of Cyrax-related problems. Those have never ended. Maybe a few more peaceful nights, but Cyrax himself, he's been relatively unbothered. He gets to sit there and talk to Jackie all day. He has it made. He gets to play video games. So why on earth would he be dragging himself back to the internet? It's because he loves this. He cannot stand the fact that there's nobody to scream at in the middle of the night. There's still a part of him who wants to prove it to the trolls that he's a successful music artist and get a one-up on the trolls for the first time in his life. It's like an addiction to him. If these lolcows all lived in the same state, they could get together, form a little community, come in every weekend like an AA meeting and be like, you know what, man? It's been rough in these streets. DSP would be complaining about getting people trolling him on Dark Souls 2. Tofiachu would be complaining about GoFundMe money. Nova Online would be sitting there just talking about Bloodspeth as they all tried to out-sympathy bait one another. He's itching to get back to this, quite literally. One sentence, I'm so glad I got away from this, peace and quiet. Very next sentence, but I'm willing to go back to it all, man. This time I think it's gonna work out just fine. And did you hear him when the dude was like, so what have you been up to here recently? And besides the music, and I'm gonna record again later on, it was just normal things. Yeah. Completely normal human things. Like, that's the most weird answer you could possibly give. It's so alien. Like, this dude has no idea what people actually get up to. So he's like, yeah, the things that you do every single day. I chew the grass. I take out the clothes to the garbage. Yeah, that's what I do every single day. Normal human activities. This dude can't win a battle with figuring out how to be human, let alone the trolls. So when this dude's like, man, I just can't wait to get back to that brand new audience, it's like, Rax, everybody knows who you are. There's this little niche who knows who you are, and then there's like the entire right wing or just the political spectrum when you popped out screaming about ICE, which we'll talk about more in a second as well, and they're like, hey, who is this guy? He's got to be artificial intelligence. And then since we've known about you for years, we had to go in and be like, yeah, man, we get it. We completely understand why you would feel this way. But no, he's a real person, we think. He claims to be, at least. And this is just what he does. I mean, this is just Tuesday, really. This is some hilarious monumental event for you guys, but no. He'll do this again tomorrow if you let him.
Once I got that play button, stuff just started getting worse and worse and worse and more violent. So I kind of had to duck out and fucking hide for a long ass time. Believe it or not, I've actually been getting back. And believe it or not, dude, I've actually been getting back to a lot of old school gaming. I've been going back and, playing on some old emulators that I grew up on, like the PSP emulator.
Oh, that's sweet, man.
The
That's cool.
N64 emulator. Just getting back to some old school games that I grew up on and shit, getting back to the old shit.
Yeah, nice. Yes, are you still racing?
Not at the moment.
Ah, okay.
William, so what actually happened in December was my ex Cassandra turned out to be a worker of William Glory Hole, and she pretended to be with me, sent me a wheel rig for Christmas, and that wheel rig turned out to have a kill stick in it, and when I plugged it into my Xbox, it completely fried my Xbox.
So I remember, it was a while ago, but you went, viral online for the ice thing? What happened with that?
Yeah, dude, that whole thing was taken so out of context, dude. That shit was taken out of context fully. Yeah, what I was doing was I was seeing, a lot of what the ice stuff was doing. I was really paying attention to it, and I was seeing what was going on. And I had seen, some of my friends, some of my personal friends posting about it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was seeing how not all the stump members of ICE were being very unfair and very, apprehensive and aggressive with, just innocent people and trying to force their way into homes and this and that and the other. What I had initially said was that I would do whatever it takes to protect my family.
So, I don't know if it's a rumor, but I heard that, the police or ICE or something, showed up to your house after that. I don't know if that's true or not.
No. What had happened is, FBI had ended up showing up to my house.
Oh, they did? So, what did they want?
Yeah, the FBI ended up showing up, and I ended up explaining to them, I was like, dude, this shit was taken out of context. I did not say that directly. This is what was going on. And they're like, well, just be more careful. It's no, if there's something else, I'm going to speak my mind about it. I had no way threatened ICE. The kind of FBI officers that just, get acted their shit don't stink.
So did they interview? Did they ask you questions?
You know the type, the type, dude. The kind of people that act like their shit don't stink, they're better than everyone. They're right about everything and everybody else is wrong. Those types of mother.
So did they take you
let's
in?
just say that my fiance.
Did you
No. They didn't take me in or anything. They just showed up to my house and talked to me, and that was all that happened.
Okay.
Whenever Cyraxx thinks he's talking to somebody who has no idea about his history, he'll still tell it to them. Of course he's going to tell it to them, but he likes to rewrite it so everything comes out where he's the victim. Everything's so sad for him. The ice thing this guy brings up. He's like, hey, what happened with that? There is no context needed, Cyraxx. In fact, the less context you have, it's better for you. Because if you add more, it's whoa, this is really bad. You were just needlessly threatening a 3-letter agency for no reason whatsoever. They weren't going to come to your house. It might be a fairy tale agency, Imagination Land level stuff going on. Hopefully you didn't pause your South Park before they got there, but you were in the clear. But for some reason you were talking to a buddy troll and he was like, you know what? I need to make a stand for what's right. And even if you do feel very, very strongly against that, you know what you probably shouldn't do? Make a fool of yourself on the internet, literally threatening something that's against the law towards a 3-letter agency, and expect good results to come from it. Nobody, not me, not you, whoever's listening to this right now, would be like, you know what, this is a smart decision for me to make. But then you got Rax over here was like, no, this is the only decision to make. This is what I was born to do. To ruin my own damn life time and time again. I mean, the damn FBI showed up. If I do anything and the FBI is showing up, I'm seriously sitting down and reconsidering my life. No, Cyrax is over here mouthing off to an FBI agent. Listen, you're not gonna sit here and tell me not to speak my damn mind. Who do you think you are? They think they're the FBI, dummy boy. They got all the jurisdiction over you. Thank God they either didn't want to touch you or felt really, really sorry. I'm just like, hey, stop with this internet nonsense, because it could have been so much worse. You could have been arrested for something you're not even that involved in. I mean, you need it, but that doesn't take away how ridiculous what you did was.
Me and my fiance, we're really trying to get everything cleared up so that I can actually start to do stuff again. Well, yes, I do get, and I get where I went wrong. I get where I failed. I'm not saying I'm no saint.
Yeah.
But after me and my family had reached out to law enforcement, and they didn't do anything, they saw it as petty and dumb and this and that and the other. After all that went down, it was like I kind of felt like, if no one's going to help me, then what can I really, do? What choice do I have? Because nobody else is doing anything. So it kind of left me I basically kind of had I basically didn't really have a choice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
At least, at least that was my mindset at that time.
Yeah, well,
that was my mindset at that time.
Well,
I mean, looking back now, I do see that I could have handled it way better. I do see that now, but back then it was like, I basically fell back into a corner.
Some people say that digital doesn't exist, but it does, because I've lived it. Some people, some people say it's easy to walk away from. You're wrong. It's not easy to walk away from. I went through 8+ years of a never-ending nightmare that I didn't think I would escape. And one of those people being somebody by the name, who I just learned about by the name of Tophia Chu, because she started to see what was going on, and she tried to call them out. And what did they do? They brother. And to the police and law enforcement out there that say that I am a vigilante, I am not a vigilante. For those that think that I am a villain because I'm calling out certain people, think what you want. But when it comes to law enforcement, I'm not a vigilante. I'm merely doing what you guys refuse to do. And speaking up for those that don't have a voice. And doing the right thing. They set me up to make it look like I did something that I didn't do, which almost ruined my entire life. And they don't care what the results are. They don't care about the consequences of their actions. They only care about one thing. Chaos.
Cyrax with the understatement of the year, telling this one dude, listen, I didn't handle it extremely well, I could have done things better. Every single action you made throughout the last 8 years was the wrong one. That's like a Guinness Book record kind of shit that you managed to somehow pull off. Every move you made was the exact wrong step. People could set you on the right path and you would somehow end up making the wrong decisions again and again and again. I mean, you had to screw up bad to be going on the internet after you're taking your break and starting an online vigilante persona. You're not going out in the middle of the night. I could imagine that movie. I remember being a kid watching Spider-Man, and the Uncle Ben story was inspiring. I remember watching Batman Begins, and the story of Bruce's parents was inspiring, sad, something to overcome. Could you imagine going to sit in the theaters or sitting on your chair ready to watch a decent movie, and the first 40 minutes is of the hero getting exposed for being a predator over and over and over again? And when he's not doing that, he's just flashing the screen. And then we get our triumphant return. He's a good guy now, right? He put on a mask and now he's stalking the alley. Well, wait, no, this doesn't sound like this movie's going to end very well. Rax, if you started to do vigilante stuff, people would just assume you've taken a step up in your predation. We'd be like, yeah, he's cooked now. We didn't expect this out of Rax to leave his house. But now he's went full predator mode. He's out and lurking. Cyrax is doing a worse job than an MCU character keeping this secret identity of his hidden. He does the same damn things he did beforehand. Even when he was a VTuber, you could tell that it was Cyrax. He's wore this mask before. And on the same page he's supposed to be a masked vigilante, he's doing like public face reveals on it. This would be like in the PS4 Spider-Man where he's got a social media account where just every now and then, instead of just being Spider-Man, he comes on and he's just doing like Peter Parker stuff, walking around New York City, perfecting a gadget, and then being surprised when people discover that it's him. Like, are you kidding me? I could be any regular nerdy teenager. And this is just a small little side tangent. It never made any sense to me. I understand they probably had something in the game I never noticed. Like, Peter did some super genius stuff, but it seems like a really big inconvenience to just have a social media for no reason for your superhero persona. Like the countless problems that unfold just by having it compared to, well, not. I swear if they make a new Arkham game and Batman has a social media.
You see, for the last 8 years, my home has become a prison, and my bedroom is my jail cell because of these trolls. And what I mean by that is these people have made it to where I cannot go out and do things that the normal average person would do. Back in 2016 and every point on before 2017 when I started, I was living a normal life. I had friends. I was always going to concerts with my friends. The last concert I remember going to was right before Chester had passed away. And Linkin Park had done a show downtown, and I got to go see them live, which I loved. I used to do normal things like go outside. I used to do normal things like go for a walk. I used to do normal things like I would go outside and take, photos and upload them to Facebook and show my friends and family, and I was always doing normal stuff. I was having fun. I was living life. I was working on music, because if y'all don't know, I do music as well. I am a music artist. So I essentially did the only thing I could and locked myself in my room. I have not been outside since April of this year. The only reason why I've gotten to get outside is because of my wonderful, amazing fiance who came down to visit in April. But before that, I had not been outside in the last 8 years because of these people.
Cyrax, you still have all of those capabilities. Nobody has had a clue what you've been up to for the last 6 months. You should take that as a, something to think on. Like, hey, nobody's had an idea what I've been up to for 6 months. Maybe I could get a little bit of freedom now, maybe not come back to this. But nope, you've just been posting on TikTok, waiting for this day to get discovered, so you can go on somebody's panel, scream at them. You're just waiting for a John to come back. You literally told that one guy in a phone call, like, look, man, I'm doing what I want to do. I just sit here and play video games all day. There is no, there's nothing in you that wants to improve your life whatsoever. You're doing exactly what you want to do, just without trolls bothering you, and sometimes that could be very concerning because, as we know, Cyrax gets up to some dastardly stuff. And it's kind of hilarious when he says that, the last 8 years he hasn't been able to do anything. When he used to go outside before all of this happened, the same shit used to go down. In fact, it was far worse. There used to be a game they played in high school where they would just, see Cyrax in the hallway and just throw him around, see how far they could toss him. And this dude just saw him on the street one day and was like, hey, that's that guy my brother used to play this game with. let's throw Cyrax into the stop sign, and that's what he did. This dude just loves rewriting his history, like the Linkin Park concert he's talking about. From my understanding, he used to tell the same story. Now it's Cyrax. He could have said he went to another Linkin Park concert. I don't believe he's ever been to see them. I believe he used to tell this story as Gordon was the one who took him to the Linkin Park concert. But Gordon said he never took Cyrax to a Linkin Park concert. So who really knows? Obviously Rax didn't go. He's never been to one in his life. He never seen Chester Bennington. He just likes to imagine that he did. Now maybe my timeline's a little bit wrong, but someone in the comments can let me know. But I think that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow all the socials down below, use the hype feature, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys next time.